Hi everyone. I am going to jump right in and get right to my topic, which is about doing the inner work so we can be a better ally to people of color and do the work that we need to do because racism is a white person problem. So we need to do the work to help fix it. So I'm going to start off with saying this is not easy work to do. It's going to be hard, but it's work we have to do. We have to make change in this world. So it's not easy, but it needs to be done. And because this is how change is going to come about once we do it. And then the other thing I wanted to say before I started and get in on my doing the inner work is that I have seen a lot of places where white people are scared to speak out about this because we are so afraid that we are going to say something wrong and get called out, because a lot of people are getting called out right now. And because when you're looking at different people, one person says do this and another person says don't do that, and it can be very confusing. So I just want to say first, before you speak on anything, you need to be true to yourself. What do you align with? What message do you want to get out? I thought long and hard before I did this video what I wanted to say and what I wanted to get out, and I made sure it was true to me and what I believe in my values. So if you're true to yourself, you can't go wrong there. And you also have to realize, number two, you're probably going to mess up. You're probably going to say something wrong, because this is something we are all learning. We are basically relearning everything that we were taught, and you're going to mess up. But haven't we always been taught messing up, making mistakes is how we learn? So this isn't any different than everything else that we've been doing. We are going to make mistakes. So we need to keep doing the work so that we can learn. And if you do get called out, if you do say something wrong and somebody does call you out on that, don't get defensive. I think that's some people's first go-to. This is not the time to get defensive. It's the time to stop and pause and be like, why did I say that? And how can I do better? And then to the person who called you out, apologize and do better. Don't give them reasons. They don't need reasons. Just do better. Okay? And I'll give you some tips right now for doing the inner work and how we can do better. So my first tip is look at your past. So my 3 tips are past, present, and future, just to let you know. But look at your past. This is probably the hardest work to do, is to look and where have you had prejudices? I cannot say that word, but you know what I mean. Where have you stereotyped people? Where have you discriminated against people? Where have maybe you made a racist statement? And this is really looking back at your history and your life and looking at those moments that maybe you're not very proud of. There might be a lot of guilt and shame around it, but guilt and shame isn't going to fix it. You can feel that way. It's perfectly normal to feel that way, but that's not going to fix anything. And I also think people looking back and seeing that maybe I did say something that was offensive, they think that they're a bad person. And it doesn't mean you're a bad person. We were taught things in society, and now it's time that we unlearn what we were taught and learn new things. So the fact that you want to do this work doesn't make you a bad person. So just because you did something in the past, that is how we learn. We all did stupid things in the past. We need to learn from them, and that's how we grow. So ask yourself, if you did make something, where did you learn that from? Were you taught that? Was it something you saw on TV? TV and movies influence us so much, especially with social media now. There's so much online that can influence us. But where did you learn that? And why? How do I want to say this? Why did you say it? Were you trying to impress your group of friends by saying it? Were everybody else saying stuff like that? Maybe look at that. Maybe you need to reevaluate your friends. But this is going to take a lot of work. It can't be done in a day. And it's going to take a lot of emotional energy out of you. So make time for this. I used a journal. Maybe you just want to sit and meditate on it, but writing out things and my feelings behind them and why I was doing that really helped me out. And it's continuous work, because things are going to come up. You'll be like, oh, I did say something like that, and you're going to have to do it all over again. So give yourself the space and the emotional energy to do this work, because this work is so important. And that leads me to the present. When we evaluated our past selves, now what can we do? What can we do to be better and do better? And I think the number one thing you can do is educate yourself. Educate yourself. If you go basically anywhere online right now, everybody is giving tons of resources. There's books, podcasts, courses. There's another thing, but there's lots of things. Movies. Yeah, movies was the other thing I was thinking of. There are lots of resources out there. Find things you connect with, because we're only going to learn when we connect with either the person who's writing the book or the person giving the course. Find people you connect with, find ways of learning that you connect with, and learn. Do your research, make sure it's a valid valid thing you're reading or watching, and not like, you know what I mean, like certain groups have certain viewpoints. Maybe make it history, make it fact, make it a fact, and educate yourself. So that is the only way we're going to grow and learn and do better. And then for the future, this is where you get to take that education and you get to teach others. You get to teach your children, your friends, your husband, whoever is in your life, you get to teach them. And it also helps you. So when you run into a situation again where people are making racist comments, ask yourself, what will I do? What will I do? Planning for the future is a good thing to do. So have a script, you can have it in your head, of what you will say to that person and how you will educate them. Because educating yourself is how we educate others. So the future and now is all about taking action, educating yourself, and then telling others what you have learned and how they can better themselves too. And this is going to be continuous work. Like, I just don't want it to be last week and that was it. Like, I want to continue doing work. I want to continue helping. And so we all have to do that. So I'm not saying every single day you have to sit down and get really deep and emotional with yourself, but you have to look at those things. You can't just keep brushing them to the side. And then you have to educate yourself too. So those are my tips for doing some inner work, what you can do now, how you can look at your past, and what you can do in the future. If you have resources that will help others, please comment below and put them down there. I'll put a few of mine too. I just don't have them right here with me, but I should have brought them here so I could tell you. But I will comment them below and let you know some of my resources. Please put some of your resources so we can all educate ourselves and look at different things that we can educate ourselves with. And if you have any more tips on how we can be an ally for people of color, put them down below too. I want this to be an open conversation in here and not just something that we brush aside. So let me know, and thank you for watching.